Mayo's Lunchbox is brought to you by Corvina Seafood Grill in Boca.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo, and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the prim clam sauce with the awesome bake with shafafa on the side.
Hey, good afternoon again, and welcome back to another edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. And if it seems like we're working double duty and overtime today, that's because we are. But we're doing it for a good purpose because we are here at Corvina Seafood Grill in Boca Raton. And I don't know if you see the assembled crowds behind us, but this is a special time of day because it is getting ready to open the doors on their unbelievably good deal. They call it the social hour. It's going on every night, 5 to 6 p.m. through the end of September. And what they do here, and we're going to be joined by managing partner Eddie Pozzuoli of the Pozzuoli Hospitality, who came up with this idea. We call him Crazy Eddie now.
He really
Mike
is. He really is, yeah.
He's giving it away, the entire menu, including alcohol, champagne, wine, and I'm talking like Crazy Eddie used to be on WPIX in New York when I was growing up. That was the electronics store, and he would talk like this. I'm Crazy Eddie. You can get cassette players, CDs, 8-track players, stereo, speakers, all giving it away, and they are giving away. So that was
a thing?
Yeah, that was a thing.
Steve always references that guy, and I'm like, Eddie does feel like that. Everywhere he goes, they just give things away.
Well, if you Google, not Google, I'm sorry, go on YouTube and just you search for Crazy Eddie New York, and you'll see it was an actor was the name, I think Jerry something or other, who played Crazy Eddie. And then Crazy Eddie was so crazy he ended up going bankrupt in terms of
yeah, exactly.
But I don't know if it was because of the sales or because of he might have had some other proclivities and vices that kind of burned all the profits from selling all his merchandise at ridiculously low prices. Now, Eddie Pozzuoli will not have that problem. He's going to join us in a minute. He's running a little bit behind because he's a busy man these days. He's getting ready to open another new restaurant, but we'll let him talk about that when he gets here. We just wanted to start the show, and it's nice because we have some Lunchbox fans and Let's Eat South Florida fans who are recognize me and came up and introduced themselves. It's always nice to see the Boca peeps and look at them.
I mean, it's like crowd. I love this so much.
They don't have pitchforks. They are pretty well behaved. I don't see any dogs.
No, they're not complaining. So, they're in great form, not rare form, great form. But it is funny to see them hoard around like I used to back in the day to get into the club.
Yeah,
I was like 18, now, going into the 21 and over clubs trying to get in.
This is right south of Palmetto Park Road in Boca. Just on Plaza Real South, and it's very easy to find. And they have free valet parking if you're coming for the social hour or any time. And again, it's 5 to 6 p.m. Now, we're doing this show for the first time today on, I keep thinking it's Wednesday. It's Tuesday.
Today is Tuesday.
Tuesday, August 20th. I am reoriented. I am in Boca Raton, Florida.
You are.
But it's also Labor Day because we're going to be re-airing this episode for the Labor Day holiday on Monday, September 2nd.
Yes.
And to all the workers out there of the world who have today off, enjoy your day off. And if you're
they're probably open. Come here.
Working today, sorry, but somebody's got to keep the trains running.
Going,
And I'm not quite sure about their holiday schedule. I think I've got to look. I should be better in terms of knowing these things. But is it going to be open on Labor Day? I think Labor Day is kind of a big restaurant day because people are wrapping up a 3-day weekend, and it's like going out on a Sunday night.
That's what I'm saying. It's not one of those days where you don't go out. It's the opposite. Like, you definitely go out on a Labor Day. It's the end of a weekend. You're excited that you don't have to go to work. You don't want to cook. So why not between 5 and 6 or even later come out to Corvina?
Now, I do see that the typical schedule for Corvina Seafood Grill is open 6 days a week, but closed on Mondays. So I'm assuming that on Labor Day, which is a Monday, that they will be closed. So that this scene you see behind me today on the first airing won't actually be here on when we replay this show, an encore edition on Labor Day. But joining us now, and we started a little bit early without you. Apologies, Eddie, because we wanted to
Mayo
capture
wanted to
this
catch
scene
before the open
it's
vibes.
It's not storming the Bastille. They don't have pitchforks.
No, they're actually very well behaved for Boca trying to get in somewhere to catch a deal. And we'll give them that.
I'm going to say this. I think now that they've gotten into the rhythm of it, because this has been going on now for a few months, right?
So when did we start it? We started it in, mid to
June?
late April, I think.
And we were here for our previous episode here was 2 months ago.
It might have been May.
I feel like we were in June and you had just started.
We were here in June. Back then, they were a little rambunctious. They were frothing at the mouth.
Oh, yeah.
And now it seems like everyone's settled
in.
in.
We got a little single file line going on.
They're trained.
They know they take the reservations. They know the reservations will be honored. Everybody will get seated. They'll be able to have the orders taken. And then Crazy Eddie strikes again. Half price on everything. How's it going, my friend?
Wild. It's been a week. I guess.
Yeah, so the news was released.
It's been a month and a week.
It has.
We did not break the big news around your world, but I did see it in the Sun Sentinel.
Well, we spoke about
it.
I'm
talking about the name. Remember, he was going to release the name. The reporters couldn't wait for us, and they got the word out.
I'm not in the scoop business anymore.
No, not at all.
I let the local press still get their little.
I thought it was great.
Scraps, and Philip Valise ended up writing the news that. Well, why don't you tell the Lunchbox and Let's Eat crowd here that what the Sun Sentinel readers found out last week is...
We had a great conversation with Philip a couple weeks ago, last Monday, and went through conversations of, I want to say it was like an hour and a half that we talked.
Wow.
And,
wow. He's thorough. He's very thorough.
Oh, he was phenomenal. And we had a blast talking, and we had spoken briefly when we opened Prezo in Palm Beach Gardens.
Okay.
But, it was nice to catch up, kind of give them the entire story, because I think there was a lot of confusion with our previous restaurant.
Exactly what happened, and when there's a change in ownership, but then the name stays the same.
Yeah, so
your reputation takes the hit unfairly, and all these things.
So I wanted to make sure that we spelled it out exactly how, and our PR team obviously did a great job.
Larry Carino, I had dinner with Larry last week.
He's
great guy.
Great company, and they really, they helped kind of deliver the message that we need to deliver, the consistent message of, this is a restaurant that we built.
By the way, they just opened the doors. Look at them. There's no stampedes. It's not like a South American soccer match or at
a Hard Rock Stadium.
Exactly.
The Copa final. They're not crawling through the AC ducts. They are filing in single file.
They might be crawling through the AC.
You don't know.
Very orderly.
I wouldn't rule it out.
It is the 5 o'clock, and right on the dot. Right at 5 o'clock, they open the doors here at Corvina. So job well done. Again, the social hour has been the hit of the summer in the Boca Raton and even cities beyond that. People are coming in. So that's great. It's great. Ton. So that's open. All right. So now getting back to.
So just getting the word out there for obviously we initially owned Tavolino's from when it opened in 2007 until we sold it in 2019.
Okay, 12-year run for the Pozzuoli family, and it was known as Tavolino della Notte.
No, it was a Coral Springs powerhouse.
Powerhouse, right.
We loved it. That was our baby.
Chef Bruno was your longtime chef.
Yeah, he actually joined us in 2010.
Okay.
2011-ish.
Okay.
And he's family. He's still family to us, and
he's gone off to start other ventures. But now,
so now we inherited the space back,
taking it back
for lack of a better term.
Meet the new boss, same as the old boss, but now you've decided you want to rebrand because the old Tavolino name. It's time for a refresh.
Yeah, and that was something that, and it's something that we built, and it's great and everything, and we did it with Bruno and with the team that we had, and obviously selling it was great and whatnot, but I think to bring it back,
I think it's smart to rebrand
doesn't make sense.
I think it's smart, especially when maybe some people now don't associate it with the way it used to be. That's when it's time for a refresh. I really think, not to impugn anybody else, but I think that was one of the problems with all the reboots and different ownership changes with a perennial down in Fort Lauderdale, Mexican place, Carlos and Pepe's, that it had different owners. It had kind of gone through maybe a downswing, and these new owners who brought it back, instead of rebranding and maybe making it fresh and their own, They kept the Carlos and Pepe's name, but then so many people it's one of those hard decisions whether to keep it or start new. So meanwhile, you've got a new name. You're refreshing.
Yeah, now so kind of transforming into Eddie and Vinny's. So that's Eddie and Vinny's Coastal Italian. So the one thing that we noticed over the past few years since we were that diehard red sauce joint that's got heavy food, this and that. One thing we noticed is a lot of people are very, very health conscious as we get into.
Pescatarianism is the new thing.
It is, and to put that little emphasis on super fresh seafood while still
Corvina here, you could see people love it. Yeah.
While still offering those Italian hits,
classics. Yeah.
It's I think it's important that we're able to kind of cater to both those clienteles. So
that's great. And Eddie Vinny, it's not an ego thing. You're Eddie, and I guess you had an Uncle Vinny, but this is your kids, right?
It's my two boys, Eddie and Vinny. It's my dad.
Oh, by the way, you posted an Instagram reel of your sons and the little one with the hammer. Vinny was getting ready to break apart the walls because they're doing the build out, the demo before the build out.
Oh my god!
And I guess your older son was
he was directing.
He was directing and action. I love that. That reminds me of the home movies that me and my brothers used to make. It's awesome.
It's so much fun with them, and now they're Vinny's 3, Eddie's 6. So they're they have an understanding of what's going on and hammers, and it's just cool to have them around for the whole thing. And then obviously my dad being Ed, and my father-in-law being Vinny.
Right.
Oh, nice.
It's got all kinds of generations of Eddies.
It's a good way to tie the family all together and pay an homage to the elders in the family, and also kind of talk about the future of the family and also make sure people know.
Are they going to be food runners? Are you going to make your kids run the food when they're 6?
Better be.
Yeah, okay.
100%.
Hey, table 23, they can pick up.
But they'll be starting at dishwasher first.
There you go.
We got to start them from the bottom. That's it.
Scrub real good.
Yep.
No, it's awesome. It looks like it's going to be a fantastic family affair. And again, your guys are so well known in the Coral Springs area that even with the different rebranding of the name, the whole family vibe will still come through, and people are going to find their way there.
That was what was important to us whenever we did initially put out a press release and talk about it, because it's important that people know that it's us, and it's the care and love we put into not only that business but our current businesses. People know that they can trust us for their whatever special event it is or anything like that.
Now, what's the address again? It's on Sample?
10181 West Sample Road.
West Sample, that whole restaurant row. There's a whole bunch of good stuff in that area of the Coral Springs. And Lubie, you're going to be, I guess, checking it out.
Yeah, I mean, that's right down the road from my wife and I, and been to the former Tavolino's, and excited to see Eddie and his family bring it back in a whole new way.
Now that you know a few people, maybe you'll be able to get in.
Maybe you'll get a reservation.
OpenTable.com. Just use your name. No, it's well, I have two big questions. Number one, when do you project the opening day? And number two, when do you think the Lunchbox can come in and actually eat some of the food from the kitchen?
Okay, number one, that's a little bit of a loaded question.
Never.
Hey,
number two, you guys are all welcome there.
Okay,
whatever.
No, and we actually do want to do a show before it opens.
Yeah, we'll do a construction show.
Preview, construction, finishing touches, no food. That's okay. I'll be able to live without a little food one day.
Just to show the before.
Yeah, we love doing some previews. People love getting sneak peeks.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So,
so opening date, we're hoping December's going to be a real number.
Early December.
You want to catch season.
Everybody wants to get the holidays and the holiday party season, but it's
I'd prefer if we can, if I have a definitive date and I know I can get open for holidays, I'll
promise, over deliver. Exactly. Say right around January 1st, and then if it opens in mid-December,
I'd be completely happy only taking holiday parties for December. That way we get the wheels turning. We know we can make everything perfect for only the holiday parties,
right?
And then open in January for regular service.
But you're at the mercy of the the city hall gods, the permanent gods of permanent.
Exactly. So hope everything's with the city now. So It's
how much of a rebuild or redoing you basically need to get all the permits,
it's
electrical and plumbing. And
it's an entire cosmetic refurbishment.
Oh, you are? Okay.
But I put an emphasis on cosmetic because we were very particular about the need for large permitting and this and that, because that's where you start to run into severe delays with structural and getting some crazy things through engineers and all that kind of stuff. So we were very particular about doing what we need to do to try to open relatively quick. So we have
fast tracking
exactly.
Things,
we have some extreme a lot of HVAC work, or AC air conditioning work that needs to be completed on the normal side, and then electrical, we're moving circuits. We don't have to add circuits or add panels and this and that, and that's where it starts to become
that would be really a long process,
labor intensive and approvals with the city and all that. So a lot of it's cosmetic, getting approval for a new floor plan, life safety, all that kind of stuff. But I have faith that we can make it happen. Relatively quick.
It's great. And then in terms of the kitchen, does the kitchen need a lot of work?
Kitchen, we're going to be opening up the. It's not going to be an open kitchen, but there's going to be glass.
A partition.
We're
so
it's
like a picture window, so you don't hear the cursing and the yelling.
Precisely. So there's going to be big glass, tinted, but you can see right through the kitchen. Right. And fortunately, the kitchen's in good shape, and the hood system is going to stay where the hood system is. That's all in great shape. Like all those pieces that tend to take a lot of time or whatnot. Like we don't have to go through the craziness of saying, okay, well now we need to move the hood from here to here, and move the walk-in and move
keep
this.
As much of the skeleton as
exactly.
As
so with our designer and with our architect, I'm like, okay, where are the big pressure points when it comes to revamping or revitalizing a restaurant, and what where are we going to be able to not change things, and where do we have to change things, and that's kind of where we came out to
now
where we're at.
Let's talk turkey, or in this case, calamari, because it's a coastal seafood menu. And I understand that your guy from here, Jeff Tunks, is going to be involved with kind of developing the menu and overseeing the
Chef
kitchen.
Jeff is going to be, I like to call him our culinary North Star.
Okay.
That's the greatest way to put it. He's
a CIA trained chef. That's a good North Star. Good guidepost.
He's a phenomenal chef.
But he's been all over the place too, and also he gets
New Orleans, DC, West
and he
Coast.
immerses himself in the.
How's his knee doing? Is he back off the disabled
list?
He's
back at work.
He is in the
nice.
kitchen.
Well, not here tonight, but his sons are in town, so he actually took
gave him
the
the day
off, and he actually
speaking of time off, I didn't even get into the whole vacation thing, but let's wrap up the discussion about Eddie and Vinny's first, but then I want to get all the lowdown on the places that you drank wine in Bordeaux and France and all that stuff.
But if I can pronounce them, I'll do my best.
That's all good.
I thought I could pronounce them when I was there, but now
we
thinking
might
about
have to bust out a bottle of French wine right now after the first break just to get back in the mood. Look at me. Do you notice how smooth
I
like that?
Snored that.
I like that.
That was an interesting snoring.
Getting back to the coastal Italian concept menu and what's going to be happening.
So like I said earlier, we're going to have super fresh seafood, crudos, fresh catches, the yellowtail snapper off the coast, and swordfish, stuff like that. But we're also
stupid clams. You're going to have like the nice.
Of course,
we'll
do the clams, the mussels, the calamari. Maybe a cold seafood salad kind of antipasto situation.
I love all that stuff.
But also.
Scongili? You never see Scongili.
You don't see Scongili.
That's a tough sell.
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
Only the diehards.
He made the Mayo face.
Only the diehards.
New Yorker/Italian.
80-year-old Italian men love the Scongili. Depot would probably like Scongili.
But obviously that stuff will be there, but we're still, we're going to emphasize also great cuts of steak, veal chops.
Okay, so some of the classic other Italian.
Yeah, because that's the stuff that I know, what made us popular there to begin with. So it's not.
And there are some people who don't like or can't eat seafood who have shellfish allergies. Exactly. So you have to give the people what they want. In this case, some veal and some steak. So that sounds fantastic. Now, if you ask me, how do you feel about seafood centric Italian dishes? Do you?
I don't know. I don't think Italian seafood.
I love it. Like, I could live, especially in the summertime.
I love seafood dishes.
You give me a linguine and clams, I'm happy.
That's a great dish.
You give me a shrimp scampi with a little bit of angel hair, I'm happy. I think if I was going to the chair tomorrow, and I eat like I'm going to the chair a lot, by the way, Eddie, but a final dish to me, like a frutta di mare, where you get like a lobster fra diavolo, take it out of the shell, just have the lobster tail, shrimp, scallops, a little bit of fish, some clams. You could even throw one or two mussels in there. I'm not the biggest mussel, but when you have that big frutta di mare, which means the fruits of the sea, and you put a little of the fra diavolo sauce on it, and you toss it with some
white wine,
a little bit of garlic and white wine, and a little tinge of tomato sauce. I'm a very happy man. Some pasta. It could even be dry box pasta if it's a linguine. Are you going to be doing fresh pasta?
We're going to do fresh pasta.
Okay. So in that case, make it a bucatini or something like that. And then I'm in heaven. That's my ultimate feast because it just, like you said, it's lighter and it's a little bit healthier.
Yeah, and it's not necessarily, I'm not going to say we're going to be, only trying to throw seafood down your mouth, but it's definitely going to have, a good amount of seafood. And I think, I think back to one of my favorite places in Italy, like Positano, that whole Amalfi Coast. There's nothing better than sitting, on a balcony of one of those restaurants, looking over the sea and just eating a branzino that just came out of the Mediterranean right there.
See, I'm going north. I love going up to the Italian Riviera and the Cinque Terre. I guess the Santa Margherita is one of those towns, but all those little coastal towns along the northern Mediterranean, and they had those things. Why am I blanking on the name? It's like a mini lobster, big shrimp. It's
langostino,
like a langostino. Thank you, Lubie. Actually, coming to the plate.
That, not you.
Thank you. I love langostinos where you lightly grill them,
or shrimp,
olive oil, a little parsley, and garlic.
Sometimes people get a little weird about them.
Oh, that's great. You got to expand the. We'll open up
he's
their
trying.
minds.
Believe me, he's here. He's trying to expand.
Yeah,
we're trying.
We're
getting the point across.
You slowly but surely.
Bring me in there one night. I'll be the langostino ambassador. I will show people how to eat it.
We'll do a whole lesson.
Yes,
there you go.
That's it. And when all else fails, you could always bring in some stone crab during the stone crab.
Exactly. There you go.
All right. So again, very exciting
targeting
stuff.
December, January,
and that is, I guess, that means it'll be kind of the fourth restaurant in the Pozzuoli hospitality stable.
It will be. Yeah.
Just give the rundown of the others.
Prezo, Boca Raton, Palm Beach Gardens, Corvina, which where we're at right now, Seafood Grill. So, Prezo being I like to call it a fastball down the center, super, super solid Italian restaurant.
They call it a meatball, right?
Yeah,
over the plate.
Meatball
right over the plate.
Yep.
And very
pizza,
popular.
fresh pasta,
comfort food.
happy hour,
reasonably priced.
Exactly.
Family friendly.
Value-oriented.
Very value family oriented.
Corvina, elevated fine dining seafood. Chic
and they're streaming in even as we speak. They keep coming through the door for the
5 to
social
6
hour
and
again,
beyond.
Half price off every menu item, everything from the bar, every bottle of wine, maybe a good one from Bordeaux. And I am shameless. Corvina, 5 to 6 p.m. open every day but Monday, right? You will be closed on Labor Day, right?
Yes.
Okay. And but otherwise going all the way through
September
30th.
right?
And free valet parking as
free
well.
Valet, and also this promotion has been so successful that we have decided to do a derivative or variant of the social hour going through into season, and we're not completely there on the details yet, but you can be rest assured that there's going to be a similarity to what we're currently doing.
Yeah, because I heard people talking and they're like, it's really crazy now. I'm curious what it's going to be like in the season where obviously it's crazier than 2. And I'm like, knowing Eddie, it's not just going to go away. Like
I could give some educated guesses, but they'll work out all the details.
Well, we were talking with management
I imagine
too,
Monday, Tuesday is kind of the lighter nights.
Yeah, so
Monday you're closed. In season,
we'll
7
be open
days?
Mondays, yeah.
you'll be open.
Yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are slower.
Here's what I see: a Monday, Tuesday hour with 50%, and then maybe a Wednesday, Thursday with 25%. But I'm just spitballing.
No, we've got a good idea we want to keep that 50 number.
The 50 number.
Interesting. Okay.
So he's crazy Eddie.
He's definitely pretty interesting.
It just needs to make sense. So we're trying to structure it the right way and make it make sense. So
makes sense to all the people in Boca who have been streaming in here all summer long.
Yeah, I love it.
I look up and down the block. I don't see any crowds at some of the other restaurants. I did have a question about a sign I saw down the block, but we'll get to that after our first break here on the Lunchbox at Corvina Seafood Grill in Boca. Best restaurants in South Florida? Casa d'Angelo is always at the top of my list. First-class dining, top-flight service, elegant atmosphere, and chef-founder Angelo Ilia is legendary. The flagship in Fort Lauderdale has been serving the finest Italian cuisine since 1997, with other locations in Boca Raton and Aventura. As Angelo himself says, they have an unwavering commitment to unparalleled quality with meticulous attention to details. It's so good, with house-made pastas, pristine seafood, unique meats like elk chops and bison, and seasonal specialties including fragrant fresh truffles from Italy. All locations open 7 days for dinner. Reservations recommended. For a special occasion or any occasion, Casa d'Angelo. Tell them Mike Mayo sent you. If you're looking for an exquisite sushi experience, Kaizen Sushi Bar and Grill in Fort Lauderdale is the place to go. 5640 North Federal Highway, just north of Commercial Boulevard. Chef-owner Hui Lam, he's a sushi savant, slicing and serving pristine fish and seafood flown in directly from Japan and around the world. Nigiri, sashimi, special rolls, and omakase dinners. He's ruined me from going anywhere else. It's that good. Open 7 days for dinner and also for lunch. Even if you're not a sushi fan, they have great cooked options, including steaks, chops, rice and noodles, and other Japanese dishes. It's fantastic. For reservations and information, go to kaizenflorida.com. Tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. Delicious Mexican food with innovative twists. Margaritas with a medley of tongue-tingling flavors. I'm talking about Taco Craft, Taqueria, and Tequila Bar. The place to go on Taco Tuesday and every day. It's located at 510 North Federal and Highway in Fort Lauderdale, and also in Lauderdale by the Sea at Plantation Walk, and soon in Coral Springs. Taco Craft has specials every day, including bottomless drinks for a Sunday brunch, and Taco Tuesdays with their $4 premium tacos, including their new birria tacos with bone marrow broth. Oh, it's so good. They've even made a taco lover out of me, and they've got so much more, including fajitas, that open-faced smashed cheeseburger tortilla that's new, and a guacamole sample that's an explosion of flavors. The kitchen is open late. There's delivery and takeout. For more information, go to tacocraft.com. Tell them Mike Mayo, the Lunchbox, sent you. One of the best restaurants in Broward, J&C Oyster in downtown Hollywood. At 2035 Harrison Street, this place is fantastic and worth a drive. It's got creative, cutting-edge seafood and more with an Asian twist and gorgeous cocktails. Chefs Raheem Seeley and Monica Dominguez cut their teeth at some of Miami's best restaurants. Don't miss some of these fantastic dishes, including grilled oysters, fried chicken, and the Thai red curry crab. Open Wednesday through Sunday for dinner with daily happy hour and outdoor seating. Go to jncoyster.com for reservations and information. Tell them Mike Mayo's Lunchbox sent you. When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks, they're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Okay, we're back on the Lunchbox. You're a Twilight Social Hour edition from Corvina Seafood Grill, and also being replayed on the Labor Day holiday when Corvina will not be open. But they're having their spectacular social hour going on all month long through the end of September. All summer long. And then even beyond that, to be announced further. But meanwhile, Lubie has transmogrified into, well, it's actually Paul Greenberg. We met him last month up at Prezzo in Boca, and he is the newest member of the Pozzuoli hospitality team. Welcome back to the Lunchbox, Paul. How's it going?
Thank you, guys. It's going great. Yep. Really excited. Yep, very excited.
What's new in your world? Were you hard at work even when Eddie and his wife were off gallivanting in Europe?
He was gallivanting with us.
Yeah, gallivanted near them.
Yeah. Okay.
We have to get ready before season starts. Got to get a couple days in of rest, relaxation.
Absolutely. Mental health, very important. R&D, you get to see what's going on in the international scene.
That was very cool.
It seems like everybody I know went to Europe this summer. I went to Tallahassee.
That's not a bad place to go.
Yeah.
That's his stomping grounds.
Guthrie's. I took my daughter for her first gut box. She did proclaim the chicken tenders there the better than any of the other ones in town. She said the fries.
In town, yeah.
She said the fries at Raising Cane's she likes better, but the actual tenders and the gut sauce, she did proclaim Guthrie's the champ.
What about Whataburger?
Whataburger, we haven't gotten drunk enough or to go there. I did not take her there.
I miss Whataburger.
My plumbing is not equipped to handle that anymore. But I did hear, I was reading something in the trade press that Whataburger might be expanding all the way to South Florida soon.
I saw Tampa.
Yeah, even beyond that, I saw that they might be looking into the Palm Beach and, maybe Broward markets, but that could be a couple of years away. But anyway, what's going on in your world in Pozzuoli Hospitality, the two of you, in terms of coming up with any kind of new things, or just kind of trying to put the finishing touches on what's already on the drawing board? Yeah.
I think a little of both.
Yep.
I think a little of both, yes. Very excited to join Eddie and his wife, Christina. I think we were a great team, and we've got a lot of stuff to look forward to and build and grow. And, we've got some stuff on the burner right now that hopefully soon we'll be able to talk a little more about. But we're excited for Eddie and Vinny's coming up very soon. It's going to be a fantastic coastal Italian restaurant that I'm super excited to be a part of, especially with the Prezzos, Corvina. Yep. It's a brand new day.
Eddie was talking, telling us about it, and I was telling him that if you want to make me happy, just give me a little pasta, a little seafood on top of it, and I am one happy fat man. And that sounds like it's going to be a great, especially with
we'll have you there for first night. Make sure you have that pasta with
friends,
on
family. I'll be definitely eagerly anticipating that. Meanwhile, again, just tell the fine folks again a little bit your background. You came and helped start the brand known as American Social. Right?
I did. I've been in the hospitality industry for the last, I think 30, 35. How old am I? 35, 30 years? Wait, hold on.
It's
a little more, about 34. I can't remember, but
math is getting harder.
I've been in Boca for a long time. Started at Pete Rose Ballpark Cafe.
Oh wow, okay.
Long time ago, and I was there with
Used to do radio shows in the back.
Yeah,
used to do it, and I think our other partner, Defo, would be in there from time to time. And
it was a cool place, yeah.
Pete would be phoning in his action to various bookies that, I still think he should be in the Hall of Fame, especially now that gambling is basically the major sponsor of every major league team.
Yep,
so
I agree.
Hypocrisy, what is thou name? And Pete was definitely Charlie Hustle, the best of the best.
Great guy, too.
Hit king. I didn't realize he went back that far back.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Been in the business for a long time, and then was in Tallahassee for 11 years up there, so go Seminoles. And
so you were on the extended plan, kind of like Lubie. He was up there for 7 years. So.
Yep. I partnered with one of my closest friends, at a place called Potbellies and the Painted Lady, which was fantastic. And then my future business partner I met there. And then we started American Social and had a great time throughout that. And then met this gem right next to me. And it's on to amazing things together.
Yeah. Now I'm getting a little concerned because Lubie is moving.
I think we just threw somebody out.
Did somebody get tossed?
I think so.
Oh wow! I always love a good ejection. Now I'm sure. Well, you know what? I'm gonna leave that alone. I don't know the particulars, but sometimes people get a little rowdy here in the rowdy on a Tuesday night. You don't see so much.
It is. It's 5:30. You never know.
So I guess the whole meeting of the minds. Well, let me just ask about Europe. So when you go through there, are you actually looking at some things, or is there anything new or innovative going on in terms of things that could translate?
Like a lot of what we did in Ibiza actually will translate towards Eddie and Vinny's. Funny enough, Ibiza you think is like a party central, and trust me, it is party central. However, the dining aspect of it was like outstanding with this super, super, super fresh seafood that's coming literally right out
off
of
the boat.
Yeah.
Now, did they pronounce it Ibiza or Ibiza?
Ibiza. It's the TH.
Yeah.
And it's an island off the coast of Spain, right?
Yes.
Party central, but also known for food.
Great food scene.
And so I guess just what in terms of the presentation of the seafood, or
everything from the service to like them bringing out the branzino, the full branzino to the table and showing us the fish before they even cut it open.
Okay.
Oh wow.
It was really cool. They, I've got videos with my wife that has lobsters in her hands, like live, like going crazy, and it was just cool. It was really cool to kind of be that engaged with
with the food.
With the food, yeah.
So it's meet your dinner, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly. And just the freshness and the simplicity, to be honest with it, was truly amazing, and it like kind of opened your eyes a little bit to what is there's so much added stuff into food in America that you don't necessarily need all that.
Yeah. Get out of the way. I mean, if you got good ingredients, and that's what a lot of the best chefs.
Then you get these requirements of that of the state or of the of the country on preservative this, preservative that, and it just some of that stuff.
Oh wow, they're getting a little. They are getting a little rowdy. They're locking doors, and I don't know. We might have to throw Eddie into the mix.
I have to bounce somebody in a second. We'll see.
You've been working.
They'll bring the muscle in.
Okay. Well, no, it's. I don't even know about all the rules and regulation. I know that fish has to be like at some point blast frozen to kill the parasites and things like that. I don't know what.
Yeah, then coming, and obviously Branzino is going to be the freshest over there because that's obviously where it's coming
right out
from.
Of the sea.
So
there's
only so much we can do in Florida to get as fresh as possible.
Yeah. But, you do have certain local fish, the swordfish, the snapper, and stuff
exactly.
like that. Yeah. So, anyway, I'm looking forward to seeing, everything, how it translates in the new restaurant at Eddie and Vinny's in Coral Springs. That's all going to be good. Are you, Paul, I guess you're responsible for more of the beverage aspect because American Social was so beverage.
I enjoy the beverage. I enjoy the beverage aspect of it. I got to go, when I was in Barcelona, we went to Sips, which is the #1 cocktail bar in the world, and we had a few of them.
Wait, I can't even process because with the Castellan accent, first of all, it's Barcelona, and it would be pronounced Sips instead of Sips.
They probably pronounce it Sips.
Yeah, probably.
I'm sorry. I'm beyond. I'm silly. This is the second show of the day, and don't even mind. Never mind.
No, it was great. It was great. We actually met the owner. He was there, and he was just like what we do, hands on, and I was extremely impressed with their program, the quickness of their drinks, how the drinks tasted, and just the owner being there. It's literally the #1 cocktail bar in the United States, and we had a few other ones. There was I forget the name.
Wait, Sips was in where?
Sips in Barcelona.
Okay, so #1 in Europe
in the world.
In the world.
Yeah,
that's a big place.
Yeah, I was very impressed. Yeah. And we had a few. There's a few that are in the top 25 in there that we went to, and it was just great experiencing everything. Because you might not like a spirit, you might not like scotch or gin, but the way they make it taste, you're not tasting the alcohol in there. You're tasting just all the flavors, fresh. Everything was fantastic.
Yeah, these mixologists now, and they use all these purees and other ingredients that really.
We're getting into it.
It's really an art now.
It's not that it hides the alcohol; it blends in with the alcohol.
It balances everything out. Where you're not, unless you really want that bite.
Yeah.
Then you drink a bourbon on the rocks, or
That's,
something.
Me
something
most
else.
days these days, just straight out of the bottle. Anyway, nobody wants to hear my problems. Go ahead.
Either of you take that? You talked about the way that they present the food, and you already try to make it as fresh as possible. I know Chef Jeff is big into that. You're in Barcelona with the drink program and some other things. What are some of the things, not to tip your hand, but that you could see bringing over to Prezzo, Corvina, Eddie, and Vinny's? Either of you. I'll leave it open.
Go first on that?
We'll go with Peter first.
I actually enjoy, believe it or not, the way they prepare the drinks with the ice. I thought that was impressive. I've never seen ice presentation done the way that they've done that over there.
Chiseling the ice at.
There was one drink that we had that had 9 layers of circular ice, and you tasted the drink, the flavor profile,
like going through
the
a
entire way down.
or like cascading through a.
It was really cool.
So what everybody on the Let's Eat group wants to know is how much was the ice charge?
You know what? I will. It was very reasonably priced.
Okay.
I was very.
Just
surprised.
in Miami, it would be like a.
good.
$8.
You want to talk about rocks charges, or you want to?
Well, not rocks charges. I actually have now seen, some of the restaurants that use the big cube charge a $1 for the big cube.
The
for your
square ones or the little?
Or the
circle one for
perfect
like
spherical ones, because
for the old fashioned
using
they always
purified
have
water, and it's being
like
brought in by a specialty outfit, and so it's not just the rocks charge. Which you want to explain that to everybody another
here
time?
We go.
Yeah, because people.
If you ask for a rocks pour, you are getting extra liquor in there. So generally, an establishment will pour 1.5 ounces, 1.25 ounces, ounce and a half. Most I find 1.5 ounces, and if you're getting a rocks pour, you're getting another 1/2 ounce onto
it.
Okay. Right. So and it's usually for certain drink. Like if you order just gin and tonic, you're going to get a regular pour, right?
Correct.
But if you order one of the specialty, like I don't know what a gin specialty.
Or gin on the rocks. Or, then you're getting
gin,
2 ounces.
Gin on the rocks, or when I get my bourbon, I'll have a old fashioned, and if you order old fashioned, they're going to use the 2 ounces. So
yeah.
I guess the thing that gets people, and I don't know if you could speak to this, Eddie, too, is just how come these POS, point of sale systems, can't be programmed so that it hides that it's not a rocks charge, but that just say bigger, whatever.
Yeah,
whether
purely
it's
user error.
Yeah.
It's purely user error when it comes to those rocks charges, because I can assure you that every restaurant does that.
Right.
Because it literally is additional liquor. Because what would happen if somebody ordered a Tito's on the rocks from, or Tito's on the rocks, and if we did 1.5 ounce pour, it's going to it's going to fill the glass up like this. What's going to happen? The guest is going to say, "I need more booze." So you order Tito's on the rocks, you're going to get that 2 ounce pour.
Right.
On the receipt, however. It'll say Tito's Rocks, but it's going to say one price.
Right.
So that upcharge rolls into the price of the drink.
Again, people just want that. They hate seeing add-ons. Mm-hmm. It's like flying Spirit Airlines. Where
it's true.
You pay for every bag, you pay for the air, all that stuff. It's like they just want built it in one price, and then when they see it on the thing,
it's like charging for the credit card fees and stuff like that. It's they feel like they're being nickel and dimed, and I don't blame people for that, but
build it into the other, build it into the regular prices, and then people don't see it and they don't squawk as much.
And a lot of it is, is really education and letting your guests know what's an upcharge, what's not an upcharge, and being transparent about it, because the last thing you want is a 1,000 comment post on Let's Eat South Florida.
Actually, a great deal.
Yeah,
it really is a good deal
really
when you order something on the rocks.
Yeah. Oh no,
versus not.
I'm a rocks guy all the way, and I understand it because I've been around the business and I've talked to people. But again, I guess the bigger issue is communication, clarity, and making sure people on both sides. Because let's face it, regular folks who go out, they're not in the business, they might not be familiar with the jargon, and then when they look at a receipt, and more people are being more, I guess, money conscious these days, so they do look at a receipt, and then if they see that, charge for ice, and then they go on the group, and again, I have to explain it for the millionth time, and I get a little grouchy because it's one of those things that's been a recurring theme. Oh yeah, for you to say.
Every month and a half, there's probably a rocks charge comment.
Yeah, and it's one of those perennials like the dogs in the restaurants, and I can't help it. Sometimes I do go for the engagement because I just like sit back on a Sunday morning and I'll say, all right, let the fur fly, so to speak. And a lot of people have come up to me, especially the lurkers, the one who actually don't comment on anything, and they tell me how much enjoyment they get from some of those.
I think
posts.
Your comments are great.
Oh, well, I try to be snarky without going over the line into uncivil. But a lot of people tell me that is now replaced, like the Sunday comics, is going on to the Let's Eat group on a Sunday morning and seeing what the outrage du jour is. But anyway, you guys, there's nothing to be outraged about here. And instead of up charges, you got down charges. You look
That's what we do.
It's 50% off. It's like, wait a second. And, the only thing that you guys do ask and that you do put on the tip, completely fair, is that for the staff and the servers,
you go up to normal price.
You tip off what would be the ordinary price, 20% on full price, but you're getting the meal at half price, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. And does anybody give any gruff about that, or everybody's pretty good?
No, I mean everybody's. The servers are instructed also to let the guests know, because when they pay with the tablets, it'll say, it'll suggest the gratuity based off the pre-discounted price. So what's important is making sure the servers hit that step of service, saying, just so you know, the suggested gratuity is based on the initial price pre-discount. You're more than welcome to leave however much you'd like.
Right.
And it always puts the ball back into the guest court. Because if they do want to leave it, it is what it is. We're not going to, you can't chase somebody out the door and say, you should have tipped this.
But then it's up to me on the Let's Eat group saying, stop being so cheap. You're already getting a good deal.
It's up to you to say that, because we're.
Yeah, I know. You're in the hospitality business, and I'm in the engagement
business. Neutral party.
That's it. No, but you guys are doing a great job here. I guess, let's take our second break. Yes, and before we do that, I got to put out the good word about the ongoing, talking about promotions and deals. Dine Out Lauderdale is ongoing through the month of September, all month long, August and September, where you have more than 170 restaurants participating around the greater Fort Lauderdale, Broward County area, putting on all kinds of great menus, multi-course menus, places like our friends at Union Kitchen and Bar, where we'll be next week. Our friends at J&C Oyster, they have a great multi-course Dine Out Lauderdale menu. Go online to dineoutlauderdale.com, and it's in conjunction with our friends at Visit Lauderdale and the VLFoodWine.com, Visit Lauderdale Food Festival. You could go and check out some places that you wouldn't ordinarily go to. You could also come up here to Boca, too, because I know that I think the Palm Beach restaurant month is coming up in September. I think they call it
Something
Flavor like Palm Beach. I don't know if you guys are taking part. You don't really need to if you're doing 50% off.
Is it going
5
on
to
this
6.
year?
I think
it is. It's a 1 month only,
Okay.
September 1st through 30th, which I mentioned just out of a courtesy because I know all three counties, people who live here year-round do appreciate it. Miami Spice to the south. Dine Out Lauderdale in Broward, and Flavor Palm Beach. Only 1 month this year, in September 1st to 30th. But go online to Dine Out Lauderdale. A lot of good places taking part, and I'm sure at some point Eddie and Vinny's will be part of the fun next year. When it opens up.
Absolutely.
All right, let's take our final break, and then we'll come back, and maybe there'll be some wine in our future.
He's not hinting.
I mean, there was definitely somebody whining as they got thrown out a little while ago. I don't know.
It's the wine and cheese hour.
We'll
be back
around
with
here.
more on the Lunchbox. Eddie Pozzuoli, Paul Greenberg, after these messages. From a scratch kitchen, delicious drinks and house-made spirits from a craft bar. A great vibe inside and out with a spacious patio. I'm talking about Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap, Fort Lauderdale, in the heart of the city at 525 North Federal Highway. It's open 7 days for lunch, dinner, and weekend brunch with classics like fried chicken and waffles and shrimp and grits, and creative items like pecan-crusted salmon and a fried green tomato BLT. And the drinks? Smooth sipping and so good. There's convenient free parking and a garage next door, happy hour at the bar, an entire patio, 4 to 7 Monday to Friday, and live music every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's pet and people friendly and with cozy fire pits for when the temperature dips. For reservations and more information, go to BashSouthernKitchen.com. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, and also now with a new location on Las Olas Boulevard. Those are my spots. Upscale food and a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. A little further inland, Luke's Seafood and Grill. That's Luke's with a C, 5511 South University Drive in Davie. Luke and Roxy, they're a great couple with great food. It's a mom-and-pop shop bringing the freshest fish and seafood to Western Broward. Some of the best jambalaya and fish cakes around. And Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? You can find his famous Scoobies, those sautéed crab claws, right there on the specials board most days. Oh, so good. So take a trip to University just north of Sterling today. Lunch, dinner, closed on Mondays. Tell them Mike Mayo's Lunchbox sent you. When people come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial. Serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late-night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. Go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the blackened grilled wings, and of course the kitchens are open late. Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Prezzo Italian Restaurants, 2 locations, Boca Raton at Park Place on Military Trail, and Palm Beach Gardens in the PGA Commons on PGA Boulevard. Contemporary Italian cuisine with house-made pastas, wood-fired pizzas, salads, veal, chicken, and of course their famous focaccia bread with oven-roasted garlic bulbs. In Garlic We Trust is their slogan, and you can trust Prezzo for a great experience with gracious service and tremendous value. Open 7 days, featuring brunch, lunch, dinner, and happy hour. Great wine deals and full bar at both locations. For reservations and more information, go to eatprezzo.com. Back on the Lunchbox, we're talking about my favorite restaurant, the House of No. The place where they don't like to say yes, but that will remain nameless. My crusade against them.
Your arch enemies, everyone knows.
It rhymes with the city in Texas. It doesn't rhyme, but it is a city in Texas.
It doesn't rhyme, it is a city in Texas.
It's also a chain, pretentious, that loves telling you why they can't do certain things. All right, enough of that. We're in a place, we're in a house of yes.
We are.
But Eddie Pozzuoli, Paul Greenberg, his new partner in Pozzuoli Hospitality, all kinds of things cooking here, literally and figuratively, and
a lot of action. There's lots in the future to maybe talk about as we keep
good.
going
but
on.
We'll let that percolate, simmer on the stove, so to speak. Meanwhile, I'm a happy man because it is the social hour, and I'm being sociable with a beautiful glass of wine. How did you know that I was?
I had no idea.
What did you pour here? I'm going to say it's some sort of... You know what? I've got such a bad wine palate. Is it a cab?
It is a cab. There you
go.
go.
It's a cab.
It's a cab.
Right out of the box.
I love box. Some of my favorite. You know what? It's so funny how, wine snobs from the past have changed all their thinking because screw caps have actually become an acceptable part.
They're called Stelvin enclosures.
Stelvin enclosures. I never heard
That's
that one.
great.
That's good. But where do you stand on that?
So someone's yelled at you about it, and you're like, no.
No, when they first started coming out, somebody from one of the wine companies came out and was like, no, this is what they're called.
Not
when
a
someone complains.
Yeah, it's not a screw cap.
Because people want to smell the cork.
Corkscrew, you open the cork with.
I mean, they say it actually keeps the wine better.
It's better. It's less chance of corkage or spoilage.
Exactly. So,
and Paul knows that. Right?
It's just not the. It's tough though, because if you're drinking wine, you have that stigma that you want to open the cork up and smell it.
It's
and
part of the presentation and the show, especially in France. Tell me about your journey through France, and was there any highlight? And did you also go?
What I remember. All right. So, Bordeaux. We didn't know what to expect, to be honest, of it. Obviously we're big
left
winos.
Bank, right bank,
all banks,
all the banks.
We learned about Grand Cru Class A, Margaux, Saint Emilion, and how they classify things different. And prior to going to France, I don't drink French wine. I was never a French wine person because I've never understood it.
Okay. You were more of a California Italian
California,
guy?
Italy. That's my two fastballs down the middle.
Right.
Love Napa. Been out a bunch of times. Obviously been to Italy. Been into Tuscany. Got engaged in Tuscany.
Oh, wow.
And am comfortable with that. Obviously Italian restaurants don't hurt. That I'm comfortable with
all
that.
All you need to know is two words: Barolo and Brunello.
There
That's
you go.
It. Yes.
So, going there, I was actually really looking forward to learning more about what makes French wine great and, what they do differently versus California and Italy and how they classify things. And, part of it is untouchable kind of stuff to where there's only 5 chateaus that can have the Grand Cru Class A in the Margaux region, and it's never going to change.
It's basically government regulation that only certain ones are allowed to carry the brand.
So this was a
branding.
pact of 1855.
Okay.
And if you want to get really into the
stuff,
the geek stuff, these 5 wineries got together back then and said, we're classifying ourselves as the best. And nobody's ever going to be able to join into
this. It's like OPEC, only with wine instead of oil or something.
And, since then, there's nobody else that's allowed to join into that Class A of Grand Cru in Margaux. And no matter how good your wine is, you'll never have that classification.
Right. It's like champagne can only come from the champagne
it has to be
region.
There.
Everything else is just sparkling wine. So
it's very interesting how
they take it very seriously, but it's also seriously good stuff. Have you been through France in some of those regions?
Not in that region. I've been to Paris once. That's it.
No, I did. I've gone through France, but I did not hit Bordeaux. I did Burgundy, which is very interesting because you learn about the Premier Cru, the first growth, and some of the really high-end stuff, and the Burgundy wines are more floral and earthy. The Bordeaux's are more along the lines of the bigger, fuller-bodied ones, and the Saint Emilion is a Merlot grape, right? That's just the fancy French word for Merlot. I've been through the Rhone Valley and Provence region where it has some good rosés.
They actually do a lot of the areas actually utilize Merlot more than I thought. Than we do in the Napa.
Yeah, well, Merlot has gotten a real bad
Merlot
rep.
now has a weird.
It does,
and a lot
it used to. That's
a lot of Americans.
It a really popular, nice wine.
They drank it until it became
it's
overproduced and a little insipid and insipid, and then a lot of people pronounce it Merlot too.
Yeah,
so that's
to make fun of it.
The one thing about being over there is they take their one wine very, very seriously. So, whereas in Napa you go somewhere and this one, they have a Chardonnay, a Sauv Blanc, a Cab Franc, and they have all these separate different SKUs. Whereas in Bordeaux, they're growing all of those grapes, but they have one wine that they make where they blend it out of it. So they're taking, this is from our Cab lot, this is from our Cab lot, this is from our Cab Franc lot, this is from our Merlot lot, and they put it all together, and all they care about is making that one wine for the year.
Eddie, Paul, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We're going to wrap it up for today. Again, Corvina Seafood Grill right here on Plaza Real South in Boca Raton, just south of Palmetto Park Road. Social hour every day that it's open through the end of September and even beyond that. They will be also doing some other specials, but 50% off the entire menu, the entire bar. You can't beat that deal. 5 to 6 p.m. every day. They're closed on Mondays for now, and you can get a reservation at opentable.com.
Resi.
Resi.com. Like
or our website.
Resi.com or the Corvina. What's the
CorvinaBocaRaton.com.
CorvinaBocaRaton.com. Eddie, Paul, thank you so much. Lubie, thanks for all your help today.
Thank you all.
We'll see everybody tomorrow. Enjoy every glass of vino and enjoy every sandwich.
Cheers.
Cheers.